Welcome to the Rogue Treatment Podcast.
Yes.
James,
H.
we're here.
We're here.
Finally.
We've been trying to do this for a while.
How long you reckon?
A year.
Yeah, I know. You'd think we'd have a lot to say.
We do have a lot to say.
It's been building up. I think the discussion on naming the podcast was
That was heated.
heated. But we got there, the Rogue Treatment Podcast.
Yeah.
Are you happy with it?
I am happy with it. Well, look, it doesn't really matter whether I'm happy with it or not. Are you
What
happy
do you mean?
with it?
It absolutely does, because we went round and round in circles, and until you were happy, we couldn't go any further. So
Don't be like that. It was until you were happy.
lies. Anyway, we beg to differ. But anyways, so the Rogue Treatment Podcast. What's that mean to you, James?
Well, look, I guess, when you settle on what rogue means, it kind of sums up you and I, right?
Yeah.
In terms of what we kind of believe in what we've done so far,
Mm-hmm.
with Switch and things like that. So I think it was fitting. What about you?
We went through the definitions, didn't we?
That's what made you settle on it.
Yeah.
So
But
how
when
about
you-
how about you tell us what the definition is?
The funny thing is, when you look at the definition, though, it's
got it
actually
written down, don't you?
I've got it written down.
Oh, here we go.
The only thing I really got written down here is the definition. It's not. It doesn't paint the best picture, to be honest. Rogue actually means a dishonest or unprincipled person.
Wait,
But
you didn't tell me that.
hold on. It gives you an analogy. Ready? Watch this one. An elephant or other large wild animal living apart from the herd, okay, and having savage and disruptive tendencies.
Wait, hang on.
Okay.
So when you decided to use rogue, you told me that on the phone.
I thought you wouldn't be happy when I spoke about this.
Okay, but I liked rogue treatment. Well,
Yeah. Okay. So when now with the what go rogue means, like the rogue treatment, is to behave erratically or dangerously, especially by disregarding the rules or the usual way of doing something.
Okay, that
So
sounds more like
it's a little bit more like us, yeah.
Okay, you had me worried for a second.
I know.
And
And-
I can't read your writing, so like,
Nor can I, to be fair.
So that's all you wrote down was the definition.
That's
of
really
rogue.
us. Yep.
Okay.
I liked the idea of the treatment part.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a nod to our
Our background.
backgrounds as physios.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's the analogy we're going to give the rogue treatment to some ideas that we're passionate about.
This is what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about those three pillars.
Well, maybe before we go into those three pillars, do you want to maybe go a bit more into detail about why we wanted to do a podcast? I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Well,
Tell me.
Oh wait,
Why-
you
why-
don't know? You're the one who's
Why
been,
we start?
You're the
Why
one
did
who's
it
been
take 12
pushing me to
months?
do it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, like for me, I think obviously we'll go into the three pillars that we want to talk about in each of our podcasts. But for me, I think it was important to kind of have a voice. We've always talked about how important it is to create a bit of an identity around what we do. And just a little bit beyond, being physios, I think we can, and that's why I liked bringing the rogue treatment to what we want to talk about, was because we think a little bit different. We try to challenge the norms, right? And we can use this platform or this podcast to try and do that. That I think was what excited me.
For sure.
And then the fact that we're going to talk about certain things that are close to us, certain things that we like talking about, I think there's some huge topics there that we can definitely apply some rogue treatment to.
For sure.
So that's why I wanted to do the podcast. For you, I think you just like being on camera and you just like the fame and the attention. So the wrong camera is this one.
Yeah. This is all new
So
to me.
it's different for me, but you wanted to do it just for the fame and attention, right?
Absolutely. That's 100% correct. No. To be fair, James, you've had more camera action than myself. Like, you've been on a couple of podcasts already.
Yeah, look, but at the same time, it's just fell in my lap.
Bit of a celebrity, when a celebrity comes asking, I'll take the opportunity.
100%.
So here I am.
Wait, so I'm the celebrity and you come knocking?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Look, obviously similar. Like, there's topics that we discuss at length and we debate. We've been told we're sometimes like a bit of a married couple in a way, and we end up getting to a common ground, but a lot of those topics, interest other people, and we've noticed that people have said that to us. So I thought, what better way to get that out and do a podcast? But also, there's so much out there now that sort of narrows us into a way of thinking and a way of doing things, and this is the way, we're coming from a sort of health background with physio, and that was always sort of structured, and we've never really liked that idea with not just the physio, but other realms. And I think that let's challenge some ideas and challenge some people's thinking, and
I think that's what
see where the growth goes.
Yeah, but you said it the best, is like having that chance to debate those topics. Like, obviously, you and I have those conversations, and at the end of it, irrespective of what you think or what I think, right?
Yeah.
We get that chance to go, okay, this is why I think, or what I think about this topic, and you get to say what you think about that topic. And irrespective of whether who's right and who's wrong, at least we get to hear the other person's side.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what's kind of missing at the moment, especially in health, especially in our realm, right?
Yeah.
Physio.
Yeah.
It's like one way, and everything else is,
That's
is literally deemed shit or voodoo, right?
Yeah,
so,
and Cowboys.
We're literally being called the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
So, irrespective of whether or not what we believe is right or wrong, I think the chance to debate that is awesome and cool, right? And the chance to talk about that, and whether it gets heated or not, we walk away and we're like, sweet, it is what it is. We leave that there.
Yeah.
No one gets to do that these days.
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of wanted to use this platform to do is, if we bring in some guests that might think differently to us, they might think similarly to us, like we want to challenge them. We want to give them that opportunity to say, okay, cool. Even if they agree with us, like, if we bring someone on that has exactly the same thought process we do, I think it's up to us then to challenge them a little bit.
For sure.
To make sure that we're right.
Yeah.
Just because I think a certain way, let's dive a little bit deeper and see if what I believe in, what I think is right, is actually right. Because then I'm the idiot who's not, challenging and trying to find some sort of truth.
That's right. I mean, with the debates, you do get that learning aspect, right?
Yeah.
Many a times I've come away and I've gone like, I can be a little bit stubborn like yourself, James. And that's where I think where the fights come from. But like, you come away and go, oh wow, like, what you're saying, I actually took a lot from that. Yeah. I'm not going to let him know that maybe, but maybe when it cools back down.
Because next time you come around and go, oh, I like this idea. It's like, I literally said that.
Oh my gosh, you say that all the time about what I say.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, very good. Let's learn a bit about each other.
You want to go into those pillars? We missed those. Sorry, I hijacked that before.
You did. Typical.
And then we can learn about each other.
Oh, okay.
Someone's got to keep this on track here.
Let's go. Someone's got to.
It's the only other thing you've wrote, so that's why I can see it.
I mean, I don't know why I've written it, because it's the only thing that I could actually remember. So, anyways, the 3 pillars.
Mm.
So we've got health, business, and sport. They're like our main topics that we want to talk about.
And I think they're 3. When we were talking about the podcast, like, we originally maybe were only going to talk about, health, being from physios in the background. And then I think I said to you, like, I want to go a little bit deeper. Like, I want to, be able to talk more about business, talk more, not just health in general. Like, we don't just have to talk about the physio side. Like, it'd be great to get people on that have some other ideas around general health. There's a lot going on at the moment in the health space, that there's lots of different people talking contrarian to the norm, and that's what we bring to the health space, even though it's in our small little niche. So why can't we explore that a little bit more, And then obviously I like talking about business. You like challenge me on business. So that's a good pillar to talk about.
And like, I think some of that challenge comes from, I've probably got some more conservative backgrounds, I guess. And like, you've definitely taught me to challenge that and like take risk and I've learned heaps about business. And I think that Whereas you're sort of like on the other end in a way, like you're like always looking
What,
for,
what,
always looking for like.
What's the other end? Hang on, I don't know.
You're like, hey, I got this outlandish idea. I'm like, whoa, let me just process that. Okay, that means this, that means that. Okay, we can't even do that. Or like, where are we at? So I look at like, yeah. So I think, that's why I like talking about business because it's, I see it as like, a number of processes and like getting those processes right, then you get to the outcomes and you're very like outcome. You go, okay, Harry, I've got an idea. We're going to do this. I'm like, oh my gosh, how? Let me just like reverse engineer that. But and I've learned a lot in business in terms of like how our brains work, and like I would think that's sort of come into like our debates before. You're like very numbers. Analytical. We all spoke about this all the time, and I'm like very like emotional type, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Who are we going to upset? Sort of thing. So I think that's it's definitely intriguing, and I enjoy talking about business and the challenges that come with it, and looking forward to the guests we have coming on to speak about business.
We've got some pretty cool guests.
I know. So super keen to hear their thoughts. And then sport, a favourite topic, huh?
Yeah, well, we both love sport. So we couldn't do a podcast and not bring some element of sport to it.
That's right.
And I think
we could probably only agree on one thing here, and that is we are absolutely, no doubt about it, the world game is the greatest sport of all time.
Oh, 100%. That's the only thing. That's where it'll stop, right?
Yeah. That's the proper footballing code, that is.
That's.
But we like all sports, don't we?
Forget how we're in Australia. We've just alienated 99% of our audience
now. That's right. I
So
know.
we won't say that, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I think the other sports definitely like intrigue me as well. But yeah, I mean, the where we sort of divide in the football world is the teams that we support.
Yeah.
And I still can't get over that you're a Manchester United fan.
Look, I can't get over that you're a Liverpool fan. I don't know how we're still friends.
And I don't know how that, the season that Manchester United had.
Listen, we're not going to talk about that right now, are we?
They still won a trophy.
Exactly.
I can't believe it. The laughing stock of the league, and then they win a trophy.
That's all that matters.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
But we'll talk about sport.
Yes, we'll talk about sport.
We love football, right?
Yes.
But we'll talk about other sports as well.
Course,
we'll give them the time of day.
Well, we better. We'll upset some people. I mean, look, we'll have to, because we've got guests that come from all different sports.
Yeah.
That I'd love to hear more about how they prepare for their sports and how that's similar to other sport, and their own health journeys as well.
Yeah.
With that sport.
The good thing about some of the people we're going to interview is they also maybe have done business as well.
That's right.
On the side. So.
Yeah. Made business out of their sport. Yeah.
So that's the I think we've picked the 3 best topics to talk about.
Let's get into it. I'm so keen. What out of those 3? What do you think is, other than I was going to say sport, but what do you think's going to what excites you the most? Is it
to talk about?
To talk about, yeah.
All of them. Like, can I say all of them?
No, you have to.
I have to pick one.
Yes.
Fuck, I knew you were going to do that.
You know the rules, mate. I run this show here.
Shit. Well, it would have to be.
I've got $10 paying for business. Were you going to say business?
I was going to say business. Yeah, I was going to say business. But because I love talking about that.
Yeah.
But, when I look at those 3 on the page there, I'm like, health keeps like hitting me as well. But look, my favorite topic would be business, I think. Yeah. What about you?
Oh, jeez. I think health for me.
Yeah.
Purely because, like, I really think that like health is. It's a crazy topic that with social media, with like, access to health information is, or lack of good quality information. I think it's something that is actually can be a little bit confused in society, and how we are sort of have to be, and I think it must be more individualized. So I'm looking forward to talking to those guests about health, because their experiences, they've looked after their body for a certain reason, for an event. Like you look at a weightlifting athlete versus a trail athlete, they're completely different, and nutrition, and there's a lot of misconceptions in health that I want to dive into, and I know we've debated a few of them.
That's why you made it hard to pick one.
I know.
But that's the exact reason why I found it hard to pick one, is because that's what I'm excited to talk about too.
Yeah. Well, business is cool, man. Like, I think, you've obviously had a fair time in business.
Yeah.
Let's just dive into that a little bit, and just so we can, people can hear about what you've achieved and where you're sort of at with your business. I mean, I've come into business through yourself, only recently. So, what sort of got you into business? Did you always want to go into business, or?
I think on some level, yes, I was always going to do something on my own, right?
Yeah.
But I guess coming out of school, going into uni, it was that decision, like, okay, do I go into and study business or some sort of thing like that, or do I go down the health path?
Yeah.
And I think when I'd finished school, I didn't really, it wasn't something that I was 100% interested in at that point in time, right? And I was like, I don't know if I want to sit behind a desk all day either.
Yeah.
Like, that was the main reason that I was like, no, let's go down the health path.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose to pursue health and physio and
Yes.
sports and all that kind of thing. But I think deep down, even though when I was doing physio, it was like, cool, but eventually I want to have my own business, or eventually I want to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily like, even though that was a binary decision at the point when I finished school, I knew I was always going to eventually end up doing something for myself in business.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. How long after you finished university did you start?
I think it was like 3 or 4 years.
Right. And switch, right?
Yeah, so it went straight from, out of uni, working, at another company.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years later, looking to start my own business.
Yeah.
And then, obviously at that point in time, wasn't Switch. The first clinic was called Go Health Online. And then the idea of Switch, was to, it evolved from what my experiences were at that point in time, which was everything we talked about at the start, which is, how do we change the industry a little bit? I didn't necessarily believe in everything that was happening. I didn't treat the way all the other physios treated, even straight out of uni where I went to work, they were doing manual therapy, and not a lot of other clinics were doing manual therapy. So then, it was picking up certain things from them, picking up certain things from Gav, and then I was like, cool, we can make something different for the industry. And then that's where Switch then came from. I remember sitting down with a marketing and branding consultant, and he's like, what's your point of difference? And I just blurted everything out to him, and he's just like, okay, cool, can we go away and think about that?
Yeah.
And then they came back with, some options and some things that they wanted to create around what I thought we should be doing, and then that's how Switch came about.
Yeah. And what is that real difference? Like, I mean, I know it well, I guess, but when you were sort of evolving Switch and you wanted to do something different, you wanted to go rogue in a way.
Yeah. Make sure we say go rogue, right? We can't just use the word rogue by itself. That's fucking scary, man.
I know, because
so use go rogue, yeah?
You're an elephant in a large wild, hold on a second, in a herd, running off, doing your own thing. Look, so what was that thing? You were like, okay, what did you tell these guys? I want to be different. This is my point of difference. Yeah. Like, what exactly was that?
Well, it was the fact that, physiotherapy isn't just necessarily about fixing someone's pain or their problem, right? That's what majority of the clinics at the time are doing.
Fix pain out the door, next.
Fix pain out the door, give them some exercises, that kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And then, so to answer that question, it was like I knew we could do something more.
Yeah.
You know, majority of the clinics then were like doctors' surgeries,
Oh my
and
God.
you know, that kind of thing, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't find that exciting. I
Yeah.
didn't want to have a business that was like a doctor's surgery. Nothing
Yeah.
against the doctors, but I found that boring, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. How do we make it a communal space? How do we make this business where people want to come? Yeah, you want to come to get the help you need. If
Yeah.
you don't want to come to get the help you need, you're not going to be invested in it.
No.
You know, you're not going to go, like, I've got to go see the physio. Or, you know, it's like, no, I've got to go see my physio. He's helping me with this, and this.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of wanting to be there kind of thing. And that's how we wanted to change that.
Yeah.
So it's not just from the treatment method. It's from everything that comes with why you want to walk through that door.
Yeah.
And then when you walk out, how you feel as well. You know, that wasn't the norm in our industry. And like, I'm not saying we're the only ones that do that either, by the way. Like, I know there's plenty of other businesses that in our space that try to do that. I'm not trying to discredit that, but at the same time, it wasn't the norm for our industry then.
It wasn't. So you're saying it like it wasn't the norm to go to a physio clinic and have like this total experience where you feel, you know, like you can sit down, you can talk to the reception staff, and like you feel like almost like at home, and you come away and you're like, what have I actually been to? Oh yeah, that was a physio that just looked after me, getting me, you know, to whatever goal that is. Not just like, oh yeah, I went in there, you know, I got my knee, you know, pain sort of settled down a little bit, and then I left. Yeah. And I don't know my physio's name. Yeah, well, you know.
But that's the thing as well, right? Like how. And I guess the whole idea comes from your experience as well, right?
Of course.
So if that was the experience of the client, you know, if the client doesn't understand why they're there or what they're trying to achieve, right, then you're not really, as the treating practitioner, you're not really doing them a service. Right. You're actually doing them a disservice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily, it actually takes more effort to really know what that client wants and needs. It's not just come in, fix your knee, out you go. Yeah. If you want to actually find out what they want to achieve, how you're going to help them get there, that requires more time. That requires more investment from both parties, from the client and the treating practitioner. And I think that's the difference, is if you're not fully invested, then you may as well just go in, out, you know, like, man, when I first started, they were still using like machines. Like, you know, it wasn't hands-on.
What about that one at Lane Cove?
Oh, the one at Lane Cove. That was... I had it. That's a relic, man. We should have kept that. We probably would have been able to put that in a museum.
Did I sell it? No, I think I just threw it out, I think.
Yeah.
But it's like, I thought it was criminal, you know, like when seeing machines in clinics and, you know, physios try and treat 2 or 3 at once, and I guess like that had its own business model.
Excuse me, that was a business model.
Yeah.
Of the physiotherapist before.
But like putting a machine on someone, then going to the next one, putting another machine or a heat pack. What about
but that's what it was.
Heat packs.
Like, see 3, 4, 5 people at a time. One person's got this on that. Like no one's getting individualized treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But James, like you can put a heat pack on at home. These TENS machines you can buy from Audi Special Buys these days, like, you know,
that's the reality.
Crazy.
That's the reality, right?
Crazy.
That's what the industry was back then, and that's why, you know, I want to. And again, there was plenty of clinics that weren't doing that.
Yeah.
There were plenty of clinics that were trying to become more individualized. So we weren't the first to do it. Yeah, but you know, there was plenty more before that. But then I was just trying to make it that next level, you know, and bring another, you know, you called it a model. It's another model to our game.
Yeah. And I know there's so much more to unpack there in terms of the difference, and that Switch offers, and I think that's probably developed, I guess, over time. Are you when was the first, like, when did you start Switch, or was
2015?
Go Health? Okay, yeah. So almost 10 years. Are you happy where it is now?
No, I'm not happy.
No, I knew that was the answer.
No, I think you can't be, right. Like we have
never
like,
satisfied.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, I am happy. Of course, I am. Like, but that's a trick question.
Did you think that when you started it was going to be like this in 9-10 years?
So
now
I did know I wanted to have a multi-clinic business. Right. So yes, I knew that that's what we were going to lead towards.
Yeah. Now you've just bought the 6th clinic.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, like, and they're all across Sydney.
All across Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's multiple different staff in each. Like we've got physios, we've got EPs, we've got massage therapists, podiatrists.
Don't forget podiatrists.
Oh,
Come on.
Can't forget them.
Can't forget podiatrists.
They wear suits to work. Did you know that?
Three-piece suits.
Three-piece suit. Shout out to DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you see that it was going to get to that point, or was that just always the plan? Was that, I talk about some of these goals that you come and I'm like, oh, whoa. And I'm like, okay, what's the process? And did you see the process like, okay, I want to be I want to have multiple clinics across Sydney in 10 years. Did you say I want to have 6? And did you reverse engineer that sort of thing? Or did it just organically develop as
so a bit of a mixture, right? So yes, maybe when we first started, I didn't understand the full aspects of what I need to do to get to that point 10 years down the track, right? So yes, it was going to be multi-clinic. Yes, it was going to be, I don't remember if we put an exact number on it, but it was probably more than 6 if we did, right? Did I think that we were going to have all these multiple, facets to it by having, EP and massage and podiatry as well? Yes, on some level, but maybe not to the extent that we've got it now. So a lot of that has evolved over time. Yeah. So I guess the overall idea we're very close to 10 years down the track. Yeah. But it's probably in a different evolution of it than maybe what I thought of 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And now also venturing, right?
Now we've got a few different things happening.
On the brink of opening up a gym.
Yeah.
Are you excited or what?
I am excited. It is.
Because there hasn't been much stress. I haven't really noticed.
No stress at all, man. No stress at all. It's like been a breeze. Super
how
easy.
do you handle that stress, James? Sometimes I go to bed and I'm like, feel secondhand stress from you.
Look, the good thing is that, I don't know. I don't know how I handle it. I don't know. It's like,
well, I think
things just need to be done. And when things go sideways, it's just part of life. Like, it's part of business.
Is that what it is? It's just like adapting, like to what's happening.
You have to. Otherwise, like
because you could just avoid that stress by not getting yourself like dipping your toe in that water, or putting your eggs in multiple baskets. Where you just like, okay, I'm just gonna, take it easy, or. That's not in your nature.
No, I think I want to. So the whole idea is, how do I push, what I've learnt into another sphere, right? Yeah. Because, as much as I enjoy running, the Switch business, it's like, cool. There's certain aspects that I want to see if I can put it into a different category. Yeah. And that's where that comes from. Yeah. But then the stress of it is like, well, like nothing's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And then if it was to be perfect, even if I planned it to be perfect, it's never going to be like that. Yeah. So when those issues or hurdles or roadblocks come along, it's like, okay, cool. How do I deal with that?
Yeah.
How can I get around that? How can I change that?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just the way to look at it, because even with Switch, like you had asked, what was the plan? Okay, cool. Even if I had said that the plan was to have 15 clinics in 10 years, right? I learned very quickly that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
We opened 3 clinics very quickly.
Yeah.
But then from there, it's like, okay, cool. Well, maybe we're not ready for the 4th or the 5th. There's certain things that we didn't get ready that we didn't think of or didn't see or were too naive with, right? And it's the same with another business, right? You've got to give that chance. You've got to try it. And then even if you perfectly plan it, you're going to miss things, or you might not have seen that coming. So you just got to deal with that.
I heard on another podcast they were saying like business is just shout out to whoever that was.
You got to give them the quote.
To be honest, I couldn't remember who it was, but I'll put that in the link below. Anyway, no, they said like business is all about being a master of problem solving.
Yeah,
and I guess that's something that you're managing. And now, myself, I've found like that's the biggest learning in the last few years being in business with you is like the problems that just keep arising that you just have to continually work out the solution for and action it, and then move to the next one, and then there's another one around the corner, and as soon as you start feeling like, oh, okay, we've got some calm waters here, bang, here comes another load. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look,
Is there an element of that?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think like it depends how you then perceive that problem, right? Some people will perceive it as the worst thing in their life, and then it can just spiral from there. And and it may not be that it's the first problem. It may not be that it's the second problem, but it may be like a load of problems, and then it just becomes too much.
Yeah.
And I get that as well, right?
Yeah.
But that's part of then how do you keep moving forward with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, business definitely isn't easy, and I think sometimes people demonstrate what looks like it's easy. Like they might show, especially with social media these days, all the success and all the shit that comes with it, which is a benefit of, being good at business. But they're not maybe showing how they got there. Like the whole scenario of like, oh, you see me successful now, but you didn't see what I went through to get there, right?
Yeah.
That how many times do you hear that?
Of course.
Like you hear people say, you didn't, you just see me for this small snippet.
Yeah.
But I think like, it's not just business. Like that's life, right? Like, nothing's going to be smooth sailing. Nothing's going to be perfect. Yeah, you can avoid it and not go down that path, but then, the other path is going to be difficult as well. I don't know. I just think that, there's another saying. Now I'm going to quote someone. I don't know where it's coming from either. So we both got to put the links,
quotes, huh?
links below, right? But it's like if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah. Of course.
And everyone has their own way of dealing with that.
Yeah.
But I want to know more about why you're interested in talking about business. I can sit here and talk about it the whole time. But where's your interest and what are you excited about, talking with business? Because like reality is like and this is a cool story. Like you started as a student at Switch and then, kind of gone through every aspect of the business, right? From a student to a new grad to, a senior physio to a manager to a business owner. Like that, you've got a pretty cool journey that's gone through that as well. So it can't just be me talking about
it. Business for me, like when growing up, I always thought that's not for me. Yeah. Like I just, accepted that I just wouldn't understand business. My dad had a business, plumbing business. I think I learned a lot when I started working with him while I was studying. And I was very
That's why you get the nickname The Plumber.
That's right. Shout out to Mark Brown Plumbing Services. No, so
but the business you just put a plug for a business doesn't exist.
Funny enough. Oh my gosh, why did I let that business fall apart? But I mean, sorry to clarify, it didn't fall apart.
That's very harsh.
I know, very very harsh. It's one of those stories that like he got to a point where it's physically demanding, and there was no one to sort of take that business on, and so those clients were slowly passed on to other plumbers. And what I learned from that experience was that my dad was so worried about making sure the client was still going to get the same service. And I learned heaps from that. I thought that turning up at 7 a.m. was like, okay, I'm on the clock, like I'm getting paid. And then it was like, earn your hard day's work and you get paid. And then it was just time for money. And like I would see my dad working on the weekends, doing the bookwork, planning those days out where, all right, we're going to go to this place, we're going to go to that place, then we're going to go to that place, just to plan out 8 hours. And I just rocked up, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so then there was so much more to it. So I was intrigued. And then, learning off the back of you from joining Switch, I just wanted to be, I joined as a student. I just wanted to be the best version, like the best physio. I got some advice from my father-in-law. He said, for now, you just need to be the best physio. Got to be the best at your skills. Debatable if I got there. At the time, probably.
Look, let's not go through that.
But like, I felt comfortable when I got to that point, and then it was just the milestones, and I was just driven by that. And then, but I wanted to challenge the feeling uncomfortable, and that probably is my real driver, because when I was a kid, I was like, nah, business is not for me. Like that is not my thing. It's too scary. Like, you know, I'm not good with risk, money, numbers. That's not my thing. I just want to do the hard day's work and go home. But that quickly changed. And I think a lot of that was also I didn't want to look back and go, I wish I had, or what if?
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I should have given that a go. And that's what's sort of like the being uncomfortable part is. So yeah, that's what led me to it, and that's why I like talking about business, because it does make me feel uncomfortable. Like it's challenging my thoughts, and I think and working with you, like you're very you see large goals, like I was saying before, and then I'm trying to look at the process in doing that. I enjoy the people movement that we've got, like everyone working as one, going in a direction, and that direction is that we want to change what's, you know, how physio clinics are generally looked at, you know, and I that's what I enjoy about business.
Yeah, and I think that's what works. Like you said a few things there that, you know, obviously contrast different areas of business, right? You know, the whole idea behind time for money and things like that. Like,
that's another podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast. But I think that's what's cool about what we want to do with the Rogue treatment is like, how do we then bring these alternative thinking? How do we bring these contrarian ideas to all those topics of business, health, sport? You know, that, you know, maybe a lot of people are thinking one way, but there is another way to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously there's a lot of, you know, you talked about in terms of the tradie space, right? There's a lot of tradies that would think that that's what I have to do, time for money. And I'm not saying that there's no, I don't know, I've never been a tradie, so I don't know the right or wrong answer there, but how cool would it be to bring some sort of rogue treatment to that and challenge that thought process? Like,
for sure.
And then maybe there might be a tradie out there like, hey, fuck, I want to try that. You know, and obviously there's plenty of, you know, tradie businesses where they've maybe changed their model, and that maybe we could bring some guys on that have done that.
That'd
be pretty cool.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. But we still got health to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Before we've got to wrap this up, otherwise you're going to talk forever. You like, man, I'm going to put you on the clock.
Oh, Jays, the debate on the time. I mean, I've got time anxiety. I mean, that's well known.
That's why that's why I'm like worried about the time.
And you've got that laptop has just got the stopwatch on it and nothing else.
Well, no, it's got my notes behind it.
Yeah. Over here.
All right, next time I'll bring a notepad.
Unbelievable.
I didn't know you're like very OCD, so I didn't know I can bring a notebook.
To be honest, I just feel more comfortable with it in front of me, even though I haven't looked at it once other than the definition. Which didn't set us up pretty well.
I'm surprised you started there, but that's all right.
Yeah. I've got a few questions.
Yeah, let's go.
And
wait, are we talking about
the hat?
No, we'll do that at the end.
Oh, I'm so excited to get there.
This will be our like ritual, right?
Yeah.
At the end of each podcast.
Except I forgot the hat. So I was going to pull out some questions out of a hat. But I didn't bring a hat. But I've got another alternative.
We'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end. All right. But I like this idea. I would prefer it with a hat, but it's fine.
So should we go through it now?
No. Let's finish our health. You wanted to go through health and sport.
Yeah. I mean, sport will be there all day. Especially
I've got a question for health then.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be good.
No, I want to know a little bit more about...
It's got anything to do with grass-fed?
No, that's a whole podcast, man. Come on.
Grass-fed.
We've obviously had a lot of conversations about differing ways of health and things like that, you know, in terms of like the impact of the foods we eat and things like that.
Yes.
But I want to know right now, what your health, like you've changed obviously your diet a little bit recently. All right. And you were like really big on your carbs and proteins, all that kind of thing. So what's your view on your differing diet at the moment?
If you're calling it a different diet. So, okay. You're poking the bear here, aren't you? I've got
Isn't this what we're supposed to do?
because of the lactose.
You don't want me to?
You're talking about the lactose problem I have.
Oh, well, look, if you want to talk about that, that's up to you.
Oh, I
I'm
don't
talking
care.
about, like, we've talked about, the role of carbs, and, you used to have
for sure.
oats every morning and all that kind of stuff.
I'm a bit of a weirdo, right? Like
Yeah.
I have the same breakfast, the same lunch, and it sounds weird when I say it sounds weird, but the same snacks every day.
Yeah,
and I
weird.
actually look forward to it. That's the weirdest thing.
You do that.
Like for example, the weirdest part is I have a carrot in the afternoon around 2:00. And I look forward to it. I'm like looking at my clock. It's 1:30. I'm like, oh, good. I've got a raw carrot sitting in my lunchbox. You know what I mean? But I was having overnight oats.
Overnight oats.
Oh my days, that was setting my guts no good.
And
but I didn't realize.
A year. What do you mean? I told you a year earlier.
Ages. Yeah. I'd wake up, same routine. You're probably getting the idea. I like routine and planning. Get up at the same time, and then I go to the gym, and then I have my overnight oats on the way to work. I'm eating my oats about 6:30 in the morning, right? By 9:00, 8:30,
You'd feel sick.
Sick. Understatement.
And then how many videos, did I send to you about the impact of oats on your digestive system? And what would you say to me?
I'd say get stuff, mate. Like I kept doing.
Conspiracies.
Yeah, conspiracy theories.
What did you call me? One time it was like, you just an Instagram.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. He just kept sending me these Instagram reels about.
But hang on.
Like, you're getting all your info from Instagram.
Yeah, but irrespective of what I sent to you.
I was like, well, look at
Instagram,
this.
Some
guy
said
this on Instagram.
It doesn't matter. You didn't believe it.
Oh, well, I'm not sure if it was the oats or if it was.
Okay,
actually, no.
Stopped the
I
oats,
stopped the
and
milk.
now what's happened?
Well, I stopped. No, you're right. I stopped the milk
Okay.
in the oats, and then I just went I just had oats and Greek yogurt, right?
Okay.
And like a bit of fruit and stuff. I used to love it, honestly.
Oh, so you still eat oats?
No.
Okay.
Now, you just like this because now I've gone to your caliber.
No. Hang on, I'm not saying anything.
Of food. I have mince.
I just wanted to know about your health.
I have an A and a B day now, so I'm that.
Wow.
I know. I mix it up. So A day.
You actually expanded the structure to have
I know.
a little bit of differing.
Yeah, mix it up a bit. I get a little bit annoyed
okay?
sometimes. No, I don't.
How's Brooke handling it?
She's better because I'm off the oats. Still got that problem. But anyways, luckily we've got a big ventilated room here. Anyway, so off the oats. Now I have mince one day for breakfast, and the next day I have boiled eggs.
Wow.
But they're probably not the boiled eggs that you want me to have.
I'm not telling you what
Or
to
the
eat.
mince meat that I have.
You do you, man.
You're only grass-fed.
No, I think if you're going to eat meat, it should be grass-fed, yes.
Yeah, but what?
We really want to go into that.
Okay.
We know
So
for
why
a
not-
fact that grass-fed meat has more nutrients.
So
in it.
what? Okay, forget this. We'll go that into another podcast. But
Yeah.
what about the oats? Let's just quickly fix that up because we never actually discussed me stopping the oats and me feeling better because I just didn't want to really admit it to you until now.
Yeah, I know.
You put me on this.
Because I know. Because I've seen you not eat oats.
Mate, I felt terrible.
Yeah.
I felt terrible.
No, from and again, I'm not an expert in this field, but just from what I I've tried to research for myself, what would be the ideal diet for myself, and when I was looking into that, I came across a lot of things about what our gut can and can't break down, and one of those things is our gut doesn't necessarily break down oats.
Why?
In a nutshell, there's more to it.
Okay.
Anyway, maybe we can bring someone on that can explain that better.
What if it's warmed up? Does it make a difference?
You do, man. Warmed up just makes it feel a little bit different in the gut.
Oh, Jesus.
So that's all I was showing you. I was showing you the stuff that I'd found.
Mate, add that with a couple of coffees. Whew, my poor clients.
Yeah.
Anyways, look, I'm off the oats. But then I argue that, surely it's in moderation, like once or twice a week, oats wouldn't change my gut.
Well, it then depends on...
I was having it every day.
Yeah, but it then depends on how our gut microbiome reacts to that. And everyone's different. And that's why you might be right. Having it once a week or twice a week might be okay for you. It might not be for the next person.
It's definitely not good having the same thing every day, though, right?
Man, for your
I'm not
OCD, it's good.
Not really good for. Yeah, that's right. Well, exactly. It's good for my OCD. I know what I'm expecting. I get what I'm expecting, and that makes me feel good. But then, I'm not really diversifying in food options.
Man,
but anyways, it depends what Brooke cooks for dinner too.
I compare your diet to my son's diet.
Mussy
It's
eats
exactly
well.
the same. Mussy eats the same thing every day.
Not at the moment, though. I hope because he's off the solids.
He's off the solids.
Poor
That's been
fella.
hard.
Poor fella. Cut his tongue. All right.
We've only got about 10, 15 to go.
Oh, let's get the hat out, eh?
You want to get the hat out?
Okay. I have a
Let's
confession
go
to
through
make.
this idea. Let's go through this idea.
Because then I have a confession.
But
about the hat.
we also want to do this regularly, right?
We're doing it
And
every
you can make
session.
a confession. But let's talk about the idea first.
So
Yeah.
the
So the idea is
go on.
that at the end of every podcast,
Yeah.
where so today's podcast is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But the podcasts moving forward are going to be that we're going to pull an idea out of a hat. We're going to ask our viewers. We've already asked our team.
I know.
All right, to put some ideas in the hat on a challenge that they want to give us.
I'm
Is
so
that
nervous.
a person that we want to interview? Is it something they want us to talk about that's challenging?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But obviously for today's podcast, because it's different, we didn't put that together.
That's right.
We put something else together.
That's
But then you didn't bring the hat. So do you want to?
That was my confession.
Oh, that's
I
the
didn't bring
confession. Okay.
I didn't bring the hat. I had one job. I forgot the hat. I do have the questions though,
Okay.
and I have a means of getting them out.
You go for it.
I have a vessel, should I say?
You have a vessel.
Right.
So you're gonna take him out of your shoe. So we're gonna do. Nah, come on. We're gonna do a shoey. So you're gonna take the questions out of. They're already in your shoe.
Yeah.
You've been wearing this the whole time.
Yeah.
No, come on.
What do you mean?
No.
I didn't want to do it before.
What the Are you fucking
Wait.
serious? They've been in
Wait,
your
let me
shoe
just
this
make sure
whole
they're mixed
time
up.
for
Yeah. All right.
40 minutes?
There's 10 questions in there. We're gonna pick 3.
Wait, hang on. I knew you said we didn't have a hat, and then you wanted to do the shoe.
You don't like the shoe?
No, it's fine. It is what it is. But I can't believe they've been sitting in there
They're clean
for
shoes.
45 minutes.
I look after my shoes. They go through the wash every couple of weeks.
You pull them out. I'm not touching that.
No, I did the questions. You pull it out. Come on, it's just there, bro. Oh,
How many in here? 10?
10, but we're only going to do 3.
Okay. Oh, shit. All right. Who is going to win the Euros?
And
Wait, I didn't
down.
know we were going to talk about these. Okay, I like this. Who's going to win the Euros? I asked the question.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm very biased here.
Okay.
So obviously it can't be Australia, right?
Well, if
No,
it's
no.
in the Eurovision,
yeah, exactly. Still wouldn't win it.
still don't understand how Australia's in Eurovision. But
Yeah, weird. Exactly. That's odd.
anyway,
Anyways, they're going rogue.
definitely that's a rogue, not going rogue.
Yeah, they're just rogue
That's
now.
rogue.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, dishonest, unprincipled person. Yeah.
Exactly.
So no, I think. Look, I've got English heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't see England not lifting a trophy soon. It just has to happen. It just has to happen. And
Yeah, but
what a
we've been
team.
saying that the last 3
I know.
major tournaments.
Oh my god!
Whether it was last
Take us
Euros,
back.
last World Cup, the
Take us
World
back
Cup
to, like,
before, the Euros
2006
before.
World
What's
Cup.
that?
What a
4
team.
different.
Stevie G, all those type, mate.
You want to go back that far?
I know.
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
I'm still crying about those days. What a man. But look, I actually think this is their time. I'm a little bit worried for them at the back, but especially if your mate Squarehead plays.
Wait.
Harry Maguire. I don't think
we're talking about Harry Maguire.
I don't think he's going to be in the team anyway. But
Shit.
it's a great team.
You went there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No. He's a good player in his own,
Don't shut
in
up.
his own
You
right.
do not-
but-
okay,
but
listen, just
he
because
hasn't
we're on
been
a
playing.
podcast, you probably won't
He
hear
hasn't
it.
been playing, and I just hate old Man United players. Except the glorious David Beckham.
He's the only one you like.
Yeah, big poster on my wall as a kid. Now, look, I think England. Yeah, that's my answer. England.
Okay.
I mean, there's
England to win the Euros.
Yep. Come on, bring it home.
You reckon?
Yeah, you.
I don't know. I look at maybe. That's a good one. Look, I think England's got a stacked team.
Yeah,
I think Spain have a really stacked team.
always.
Come
Come on,
you know,
say something new.
No, but like, I just think the Euros are hard. Like, you think about Italy are the current champions, right?
Yeah.
And they haven't made any other major tournament, but they won the Euros. Like, they've missed out on World Cups.
Yeah.
They've missed out on other tournaments.
They beat England on pens. Like,
yeah, I know.
That's
why I'm saying I think it's hard. You know, you look at some of
Where is it?
Portugal's
It's in
got
Germany,
a stacked
right?
team. It's in Germany.
Yeah.
So like
Germany are going to be strong then. No?
They'll be strong.
Yeah.
They'll be strong. So if I'm picking a definite winner, I think it might be Portugal.
All right,
but
I'm glad this was recorded. Next question.
All right, well, let's wait and see.
Yeah,
let's wait and see. I think Portugal will win. All right, you're pulling out the next one.
I'll pull out the next one.
Two.
All right, here we go. Oh, we have touched on this, but short and sweet.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest challenge in business?
Dealing with you.
No, James, it doesn't say what has been your biggest success. Yeah.
No,
you said me, right? Oh.
I heard the question. Biggest challenge in business.
Who wrote these questions? That would have been a better one.
Who did write these questions?
That would have been a better one. But anyway.
I think the biggest challenge in business has probably been, you know, like I said earlier, we grew to 3 clinics very quickly, right? And I think at that point in time, I didn't really understand what it took to have a site business. And when we opened the 3rd clinic, that could have been the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Luckily it wasn't, but we weren't ready, I think, to be at that stage. We didn't maybe have the systems and processes in place. You know, we did have systems and processes in place that maybe were good for 1 clinic, maybe good for 2, but not as we expanded. They weren't the right systems and processes, and I didn't know that at the time. And it's in a good way, it's a good mistake to make, right? But I thought we could just keep replicating what we had done with the first 2, with the 3rd and 4th and 5th. But it required a different way of looking at the business, a different way of expanding that we didn't know at that point in time. Yeah. So that would have been the biggest challenge, I think.
I think being involved for the last 7 years, I think, like, I've sort of seen that as well. And I've seen how, like, involved you've been in all of them. You know what I mean? So that would have been very hard to try and, like, stretch myself even beyond, because you were so involved. Because to make things tick, you had to be there.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, when a new clinic opened, or you know, we took over a new clinic. Like, and that was the thing, right? Like, we can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
We have to have a completely different structure to be able to grow and you know, to get to that point. And we weren't there. And it probably took us, well, we didn't open up another clinic for like 3-4 years after that. It took us a few years to recover, get it right, make mistakes. Yeah. Because you can, it's different mistakes at scale. Yeah, it's different things you got to learn at that kind of size. Yeah. Whereas when it's 1, it's very different. When it's 2, it's very different. I think, so that was a big challenge. And from that, I think it's been the biggest learning for me as well. Yeah. Because now anything new that I try to do is like, okay, cool. Like, what don't I know? Like, I knew certain things at that point in time, but didn't know what the next step was. Yeah. And we just blindly went into it, which is fine, which is good. But now I try not to make a blind judgment. Yeah. That's probably been the biggest learning from it. Yeah. It's like, okay, cool. If I'm doing something different, now I've got to try and find out as much as I can about that. You're still going to make mistakes. It's still not going to be perfect. Yeah. But how do I find out as much as I can about that? Which I didn't do at that point in time. Cool. What are you? Biggest challenge?
I thought you were going to say that, like, now you've got people in place to, you know, like myself, that deal with all these things. Anyway,
wait, what do you mean? That was a challenge?
I was just waiting for the compliment. You never give compliments. It's...
Oh my God.
Anyway.
We're going down that path.
You can see what was your...
Like I said, my biggest challenge in business is dealing with you.
I'm a boiled eggs this morning. So you know what's annoying when you do boiled eggs so many times? You still don't get better at peeling it. I think it's something to do with the egg. But anyways.
There's ways to peel it really quick. I don't know.
No. There's not. I've tried everything. It's,
okay, it's I don't know. Just
it's a pop luck. But the biggest challenge in business, I think, going back to the time for money thing. Like, I used to be focused on, I grew up like, you know, I went to work, I dug trenches for my dad. 7 to 3 o'clock. We used to finish a little bit later, like 4 o'clock, 4:30. Job done. I'd get paid for it. Yeah, cool. Go home. Didn't have to think about it until the next day. As I was going through as a physio and looking to get into business, I was like, oh, geez, like what's, starting to look in doing my own learnings and things like that and challenge myself outside of those hours that I'm actually working. But then actually in business, it's been like, okay, now that I know that I can do the job really well, how can I then get other people to do it for me? And managing people and like sort of giving up the ownership in a way and going, right, okay, well, I can't just do this on my own and dig the trench. Like I need multiple people to help me. I need to trust other people. I need to manage other people. And sometimes they're going to get it wrong. And maybe I could have done it better, but that's okay because like, you can't do it everything. You can't be everywhere. Yeah. And I think that's been my biggest challenge. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Right. You like that one?
I like that answer.
Yeah. Good. All right.
We got one more. We got time. We got 5 minutes.
Let's go. One more.
Can you get rid of your shoe now?
Thank God.
Simon's gonna get the shit that you put shoe on his table. Have you ever done a food or drink fast and what? You smart ass. You put that in there?
No way.
What are you gonna do with the rest of them? Isn't there more in your shoe?
Yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna tip them out.
You put this in here.
I didn't put nothing in here. Who wrote these?
Oh, I'm asking the question, so it's your answer.
Well,
and I'll answer you.
The question. So the question is:
have you ever done a food or drink fast, and why?
No,
you haven't.
No,
you've never done a fast.
Never. Like, I mean, accidentally maybe.
How do you accidentally do one?
Like I forgot my oats. I have the same thing every day. It's like if I forget something, then maybe
you didn't make your oats because they're overnight.
It's not oats, anyways. It's
but hang on. If I didn't make them,
I didn't do my boiled eggs.
You wouldn't eat breakfast.
If I didn't do my boiled eggs in the morning, and then everything's regimented. I'll get out.
I understand.
I get out of the bed.
Eat
my clothes there. I literally fall into it, and then I pick out my lunch and go to work and whatever. Everything's got a time. If I didn't,
worse than I thought.
If I missed a step, like actually get out the lunch out of the fridge, then I'm like, well, I just won't.
Like, you won't eat.
What?
You won't go like maybe pick something else out. Have a banana. Have a piece of fruit.
But that's you. Oh, maybe but that means I have to bring my carrot earlier. From 3 o'clock now, I've got to have it at 6:30 a.m.
fast because it breaks your regimen.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my word!
But yeah, no, I honestly haven't. I know a lot of people have.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I haven't asked you yet, but yeah, and yeah, I mean, look, it's a great topic. I argue that it's just the change that helps. It improves the health. The health benefit is just purely from the change in diet, not just actually the fasting. But I know I didn't thought you'd like that.
You're just baiting me.
Anyway, have you done a food or drink fast?
I have. I do. No. I'll still drink during a fast. I'll do a food fast. So I'll have water and black coffee.
Yeah.
I try and do a 3-day fast. Maybe like
I know.
Once a month, once every 2 months.
I know when you're on it.
Why? Was that bad?
Because, look, you get redder and redder. By the third day, you are tomato.
That's not true. That's just anger.
You get more angry. You should eat more. It's hangry.
No, I don't. But that's the thing. I don't actually get that hungry.
Well, do you feel better after?
I feel better after.
During?
So like sometimes I'll do a fast if I'm like craving really shit things.
Yeah.
So like, not that I eat a lot of sugary stuff, but like if I start craving it, then I know that I need to do a fast. So then that's why I do it. Or even like
so it's to regain control then, James.
It's a little bit of that, but it's just maybe flushing the body out a little bit as well.
Yeah. Do you do the juices?
There's lots of evidence of what it can do the longer you fast.
Have you done the juice ones?
The body. Sorry,
the juice ones.
I did try that once. I didn't really like it that much.
I thought you did.
Yeah. So I'd rather just do a clean fast, just drink water, maybe have some coffee. I'll do it like fast from coffee too if I'm craving coffee. So I'll just drink water. But I don't really get that bad with coffee, like craving it that much.
Thinking about it.
So yeah,
I just wouldn't have the energy. I know.
No, but you
that's
do.
Another
You actually get the energy.
Mate, we've got that podcast coming up.
We'll talk about.
We're going to get into it, but I go 2 hours and I'm just thinking about it. Where's
Yeah,
where's
but see,
that? Where's that
that's
next
a
carrot?
good reason for you to do a fast.
Yes, I get it.
And break through that.
Nothing wrong with the carrot at 3 o'clock, James.
There's nothing wrong with a carrot at 3 o'clock. I'm not saying that.
Thank
I'm
you.
not saying that.
You're on.
But yeah, look, I have done food fasts.
Okay.
I haven't done anything longer than 3 days. I know some people do longer.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do intermittent fasting as well. The majority of the time I'll do intermittent fasting
Yeah.
when I'm not doing a 3-day fast.
Yeah.
Just have a
That's
eating
huge
window.
now.
Yeah.
Everyone's
It's
got to
big
be
now.
doing it. It clears
Yeah.
mental health too, apparently.
Oh, no, I don't know that. I'm
Well,
not going to push that. I'm not going to push that.
mate.
But maybe bring
mate,
someone on that can talk about that.
Yeah, like, fuck. There are people that say, fasting cures mental health. And
Well,
it
let's
does.
give it the rogue treatment.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that's we've got that coming up in another
We'll get that coming
podcast.
up. Well, we got that coming up, do we?
We do.
Okay, awesome. You've planned this out.
Yeah,
Maybe
I've got
more than I
notes in
knew.
here.
Show them the next. No.
No. Please.
Well, that wraps us up for today.
It's been a good first intro.
Yeah, you were worried we wouldn't go for an hour.
Oh, I know you can talk. That's a worry. I apologize for
listen,
that.
man. I reckon we're going to get Simon to do a breakdown of talking time. I reckon you've gone
no
longer.
chance. 75%. I reckon.
Nah.
Doesn't shut up.
Nah.
Me, just 25% gold. 75, 35.
You can leave the numbers to me, man.
25, yeah. All right.
Easy.
Awesome.
Well, that's the first Rogue Treatment podcast done.
Fantastic. It's so good to get it off the ground.
I'm glad we got there.
We finally got there.
Yeah.
12 years in the making.
No. 12 months in the making, maybe.
12 months. Okay, no. 2 weeks in terms of going
Planning.
rogue with this bloody...
12 months in the making, 2 weeks of planning?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're here. It's got so much to go through. I
Yeah,
can't wait to dive into it. And some of these people that we're going to have on, like, I think they're going to
That'll be
really
cool.
push the boundaries.
Yeah.
I mean, they push the boundaries in their own right. So looking forward to pushing them further.
I'm excited.
Let's do it.
Oh, episode 1 of the Rogue Treatment's done, man.
Awesome. Congrats, man. Well
Awesome.
done.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.